in town now. I'm not putting you in a difficult position, by the way, but based on this particular government in town now, their manifesto, a focus on rice. There's no denial about that. The president, yeah, the other day I opened my video, my phone. It was full with hectares. Yeah, they use the technical terms, hectares and rests and bushels and the rest of it. But the bottom line, what I'm trying to say, Mr. Daramy, is this particular government, it places emphasis on rice production, rice planting and harvesting, which is going to be local. But for which they gather from you in terms of soil acidicity, this is not possible. And you equally the advice as a former authority in terms of food security from the ministry, we're responsible. They say they go better for we bad sell some other cash products where we able for produce by virtue of we soil, waiting they accept, where we sell, waiting we gain from there, and you even make a comparative analysis to other countries, and then we can use the proceeds for buy we basic, yeah, or essential commodities such as rice. Mr. Daramy, are you saying that the issue about rice production is not supposed for lie na Sierra Leone? When I say lie na Sierra Leone, like efforts or focus being put on growing the cash, the rest crop now, because the soil is acid. It's not going to be profitable anyway. You plant now one season, you can't plant now the second season.
Well, with the current government and the president manifesto on rice cultivation, I guess maybe certain things in the way the people the way help and do the manifesto, what maybe certain things in the way they not be understand, or maybe certain things in the way they understand way better than me. So either, but waiting me go tell you is not to only himself don't get it wrong. I will tell you say even with the former administration, the All People's Congress, Dr. Alex Bakarr administration, the same idea on this rice thing. And the former administration laid a lot of emphasis on rice production, rice cultivation, and all the rest of it. And the things can be done, but I will tell you this is the bottom line of everything. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe other school of thought, other people in the way understand or know more than me. But as I say, I only take my study from Salon. I take them way above Salon, way out of Salon. Look at them from a business point, as a businessman, from an economic point. Look at them, the give and take. Look at the drudgery in the farmers. Look at them, the Mondays, hours, the time when they spend. Look at them, the things when they spend and everything, When you look at all them things, trust me, you can understand exactly waiting for do. From when this new government song come, Prince, every businessman will make profit. We businessmen, we sold them for make profit. Why would they buy 1 million, we go sell and 20 million? We don't mind we don't sell and 20 million, we go now go big God, but for make profit. If you remember, about last year, then we get a rice conference now. You building. The Minister of Agriculture, I think, invites the president and other people. They bring private sectors and come, banks, them, this, that, for see how they will invest in that rice production. Some people, television stations, and call me how I see that particular thing. I say, personally, I will talk to them about on television. I will not make a comment. But I will tell you, waiting I be comment then and now. I tell the people and say, go get none of them banks and they or them private sector company and they for go invest in rice production. They already tell you say they want to invest in rice production. I'll tell you the big secrets, Prince. Then they can't tell you so one go establish 100 hectares, one go establish plants na tomabom, one go plant so, one go plant so. You know how the conversation the end? In the end, for let them come back to government, they ask government for sovereign guarantee. For let government go trust the money, can give them, then go work. If the money well, government pay. The program when in there for let them go plant rice na tomabom, where this previous government when they say go do the rice na tomabom, Prince. From the advice somebody called me, he said, how you know say na yaso it go end? I say because I've been there, I understand exactly how the NCR they go. Now the same side it don't end up back. So if they want the day no one come in and can invest their money, it tells you there's a catch-22 somewhere. So go find the catch-22. The catch-22 is it is not profitable. Nigeria, then they eat rest day. But Nigeria, rest in Nigeria expensive past rest in salon. Then turn to other things like tomato and other things, the way they know say they got the soil for, then they plant and plenty, then they export them and all. Ghana, they know say they get the soil for planting and other things, they plant and plenty, they export to Cameroon and other countries. It's based on the soil analysis. We get of face out reality. Some people might disagree with me while they talk about rice production, say, viable in a salon. One minute. Bury at Bakarr. I don't say go to go on people in mind. People and say, oh, they plan a bury at Bakarr, they export. The size of land a bury at Bakarr is 300 hectares. That is not a farm for feed country or for feed the districts for chiefdom. Now be a trial site. Mange, again, now be a trial site. Two side them the plants na mange, the swamp, then they now be agricultural trial site. You go there, you go see the old buildings of the agricultural sector. Now be a trial site. So then one then they not enough for export rice. Then they export rice now na salon, that's how they tell you. But the rice when they export na special kind of rice when they plant. When this na hybrid rice, when na organic rice. You know what's organic? And now 1-2 company yes, they normally do them. And a small quantity in the export, like the South Corporation, the Chinese them. When they farm they just where they reach Bere Bridge. On the left hand, you go down that village, something like 2 miles down the road, you go meet in swamps in there. So most of them things here, so I mean, I will draw the comparative, I will draw the analysis from different parts and different sides and different places. The first thing we for ask yourself, anybody want challenge which they say, check the Ministry of Agriculture, check all the district agricultural offices them for the yield survey. Whose side and not ever get 4 tons per hectare per yield per any rice harvest, let them show you whose side and how it happened. Now from yonder we they start. As I say, I've been at the Ministry of Agriculture not for a long time, about 5-6 years, but waiting there are land and all, and waiting there sabi. Trust me, it is very. I study all the divisions in agriculture, from crops to extension to forestry to PEMS, the way they collect all the data and everything, to agric engineering, to livestock. So I understand exactly waiting tie around we in rice production. And one thing I want to touch again, even meat production, we get a problem. You find out, say we cow them very, very small in a salon, but we not can think about it. If we're able for find where we cow them become bigger, like the one they want to get overseas, then we can get a change in that. But that one day, I mean, we go find another time for talk about that because we get the animal research station. That's a discussion. And we get the veterinary lab. It is another part of it.
That's another day. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard for yourselves. As you've been listening for almost an hour and a half, we've got somebody who, at least, whether you want to doubt him or not, he's directing you to the data. He's directing you to the statistics. So you don't have to take him for what he's saying. Go and check the record. He's challenging you on that. And this person is none other than Mr. Bakarr Daramy, who is a former public relations officer of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Now you imagine that. I'm talking about the Ministry of Agriculture of an entire country. You might look at the population as small, but that's what it is. It's millions of people, and he was the PRO. He is also a former member of the erstwhile Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma's government, the APC government, which left power some 18 months ago or so. He also happens to be, I don't know whether he still is, but at some point, he was the All People's Congress publicity secretary in the Western area. And ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest, let's keep it real. This guy is heavy and he knows what he's talking about. Okay? So we've been talking about a lot of issues on the 23rd of September. We want to shift gears now and we want to keep it real. Mr. Abu Bakarr Daramy. We are now going into the now. We were at the then. We are now moving into the now. And the now, Mr. Daramy, although it sounds a little bit like retrospecting, but there is a narrative that I'm going to try to develop to bring us into the real now, sir. First of all, when your party, when your government, and even before I go to that, I want to say something quickly, okay? As the Western Area Publicity Secretary, I mean, there are many things that you are on record of saying. One of them, that was pre-elections. So confident were you that you said these particular words, that nothing, and I'm quoting you, Mr. Daramy, nothing will stop the party from victory as the APC, which is your party, it seems like you remember the quote or something similar. The APC has always been popular and we believe to win the 2018 elections. That was then, and this is now. But my question to you, based on this quotation, Mr. Daramy, what went wrong?
Okay, thank you very much. You know, Prince, before I start up, I'll tell you that ever since the elections, I make up my mind that I'm not going to do any interview on radio or television or any like this one until towards the late of next year. But you group then and now they follow, they see a lot of people in the bank heads, then go fet. But one thing where I get for the group is after all the fighting and all, like listening people are recording and all, then they come back together as a family, and that's what I love about it. If you find out one of the few groups where they comment or make statements and all, so now that make I decide to come and talk to you people. Then I see there's a mixture of everybody there. I can look at the comments. Man, can go hard on each other, but the family thing always there. I'm coming into a perspective of the political side. You get what you call benchmarks. You get what you look at. You get your indicators. And I mean, one person way I always they talk from a point of conviction. I go around the country, survey people and do everything and all other things. And up till now, I am yet to be convinced that we lost the elections at the ballot box. These are the reasons why. When you look at Salone, most of the people then they vote one way. If they can't vote for SLPP councillor, then they vote for SLPP member of parliament, and they vote for SLPP president, and they vote for SLPP mayor or district chairperson. If they vote for NGC, then go the same way. If they vote for APC, then go the same way. The survey was done all around the country. On that single day, now 4 elections they happen. 4 elections, not 1, 4. You get elections for the councillor, the same person who vote for councillor. You get the same person who vote for member of parliament. You get the same person who vote for the mayor or the district council chairperson. Now the same person vote for presidency. 4 elections. 4. Now come to the percentage. The councillors, now the country, the councillors, APC gets something in between 68 to 70% of the council seats all around the country, right? NGC gets something about 4%, 4 to 6% of the council seats now the country, councillors them. C4C gets about 8-9% of the council seats in the country. SLPP gets about 30-something% of the council seats in the country. I mean, when you look at the member of parliament and where each party win, then same percentage and they on council seats where they win. now the same back replicate on the percentage of member of parliament seats. We are in NGC, get 4 seats in parliament, where they about 3 to 4% of the total parliamentary seats. C4C get about 7 to 8% of the council seats in the country. When at the same they get a member of parliament and get about 8%, 8 member of parliament seats in the parliament. APC, APC mean gets at the time, APC mean get about 74 member of parliament where we win on elections day. Where through controversy, rigmarole and all, they reduce them to 68. But when you go check, then balance 6 seats and they when and get confusion on and all, the council seats and they, now APC win then council seats and they. Same to SLPP. SLPP get about 30 something, close to 40% of the member of parliament in a parliament, right?
Yeah.
And they bring this to percentage.
Yeah.
Come now to the DC council chair and the mayor all around the country, all the councils and the 22 councils all around the country. APC gets about 60-something% of all the councils in the country, wherein NGC gets something about 3%, if you put it in percentage perspective, when Akambia then gets. C4C gets about 6% to 7% of the seats, the council seats. Now the country, they get the new Koidu Semel City Council and the District Council. SLPP again come in and gets about 30-something% going to 40% of the council seats now the country. So if the same people then will vote for all them 3 a day, now then back they can vote for presidency, then presidency they can tell you say APC gets 40-something% and SLPP get 40-something%. I might be wrong, maybe my analysis are wrong, but I still wait for make neck showy. Now all the 10,800 polling stations around the country waiting there now the results now each and every polling station. Let me say we put them together, then right there, I think say we all can go to bed and rest say now this now it happen. May not they tell you say it impossible for my APC lost elections, but based on the waiting we may not do, waiting the party may not do, and the government may not do. Definitely Salon people, they're not so ungrateful people. Now that make,
right.
I mean, plan say, I mean, they wait until next year before I will come in to take any interview on the line because on a fear base, the government will don't come, the government of President Bill, we get for allow them for let they operate. Whether they operate good or they operate bad, we get for allow them for make they operate. Some of we know go come in, we know, me like me, I know the kind of voice I get. I know the kind of convincing power I get. We not go come and start to take on the radios and the televisions, full blown, and they hit them on now. We can forgive them their own space. Let me see what they can do. If they do good, we go tap them at the back. Like one thing where they do, we're happy, where the government do, was this thing where may not start all along, for letting give land in visa to people from other country, whether the ability to go boost the tourism sector. Down then I kudos. Things I know they happen. We are Sierra Leoneans, just as I say, I'm a businessman. This country better for we all. It bad for we all. So now some of them things and they we can look at and I make if I didn't any social media forum. Once I begin contribute, as you begin to ask me, what the APC do, what in this do, the next thing I do, I will not comment because I'm not there for that. If we do, let us share ideas and all. So now, I mean, based on them things and I make dense statements and even in our Western area, we may get 21 seats in our Western area. When they increased the parliamentary seats, the elections of 2018, we ended up with 25 seats. We had 4 more seats them, per the seats where we get in our Western area as the All People's Congress Party. Right? Same way, SLPP member of parliament and in our Western area, we then say win. Fine. But you may get people who in our Western area when I be SLPP member of parliament back in the days, the Victor Reader and other people. So you can't take that away. Same way, so
yeah.
Elections is about numbers. But just as I say,
yeah.
I get a very, very high respect for NEC as an institution. I have. But
okay.
for some of the individuals that are there, we need to evaluate some of their credibility.
So we come to that, Mr. Daramy. Somebody make a quick contribution when a brother way kind of regular to this forum. So I go highlight something where you talk about, and I want to let you just deal with that if you can in 30 seconds on 1 minute, please. Mr. Daramy, are we talking here? This is directed directly at you. Are we talking here of representatives or total vote count? Now we've been broke down the percentages and numbers in terms of representation, voting statistics. Are we now talking about representatives or total vote count in the country? And if so, I suppose, can you please tell your audience the total vote casted on totals, not percent? You may understand this, but that's a critical question because I know my brother is very, very critical. He lives in Finland.
Yes.
And yeah.
Well, to my brother, wait to make I come up with this analysis. Now, because almost 2 years after the elections, NEC don't fail for giving the detailed result. If we get the detailed results, just as I say, all the 10,800 polling stations, we able to add the numbers and tell you, say, now this amount of people vote for SLPP, now this vote for NTC, now this vote for APC, now this vote for C4C. NEC no ever give you that number there. Always in NEC give you, NEC tell we say, then they call the result in percentage. Yet still, I do math in a school. I think say, why me they go school? I don't fail math though. Trust me. But percentage of what up till now I still don't understand. How them they draw the 25%? Percentage from what? 25% from what?
And you went, you know, in inverted commas to the best high school, St. Edward's.
The best school in the country. I don't say some other brothers will go grammar school and all. But I'll tell you, Edwardson produces most presidents and all, and them 90% of the lawyers in a salon at Edwards. So when I be at me for that, we don't get opportunity for go St. Edward's. You know now from that point, okay. The brother understand. I calculate this, but NEC never give you the opportunity for make we know exactly the numbers. Now every polling station, they not ever submit unto we. Up till now, they not ever submit unto we. So if NEC not ever submit unto we, waiting they left with, they left with for let we make up. We own numbers. We try for draw from waiting we get for let we solve the problem. It's a puzzle. Na algebra then give you. So if the same people the way they vote, now they vote for presidency, now they vote for councillor, they vote for this chairperson and all, definitely the percentage, what make I bring them percentage in, they speak right through from the councillor representative, the percentage of them, coming to the member of parliament, the percentage, coming to the district council chairperson and mayor, the percentage. How come when it comes to the presidency, the percentage get for speak Dutch? If they speak French, if I speak French. Because when you do a graph, if they run up, it get for run up on one line. How comes when if they run up, all of a sudden it take a sharp curve and start for diminish? I mean from
okay. Okay, Mr. Daramy, you seem to be winning, you know, yeah, many hearts and minds in certain respect, like in terms of your school, Edwards. We get some contribution from Brother Ibs, Banks, and Apasori. Kudos to the Edwardian brother. So you've got a brother here.
The original
yeah. And then you get Seal Madu Dean Bobodine. Unfa Ali did not even know the vote cast in percentage up till now. From Madiudin, of course, so it's just the buttress to which you see. But I want to move on because of time factor, Mr. Daramy. We've done well so far. But because we title, we interview or we conversation, I like for call and conversation more. Yesterday, today, and the way forward, you know, with Mr. Bakarr Daramy. So the question here is next for you, sir. Now the GTT report, because remember I said we talk about yesterday, today, that was when you were, and to the point, Usai, you were not, but how you look at things. And one of the things immediately we lost power, sir, now be the GTT report, which was something about stock taking, because that in itself was controversial. But most of we on the outside not be understand why it was controversial, or we hear from one side why it was being done. This is an opportunity for the rest of the audience for understand waiting up a GTT report and how was it seen from your side, Mr. Daramy?
You know, the idea of a GTT report was very, very good by the current president. Because waiting the GTT reports they do for you, the GTT reports, they actually tell you exactly outside the country they and how you for take them forward. Waiting day, waiting not day, waiting shorting, waiting not shorting and all. But I will tell you, say, to a greater extent, when you do a GTT report, you get for do them and bring people them way selfless, and we understand issues and understand government and a lot of other things. To a greater extent, I think say the first injustice where some people then do to President Bio, now that GTT report where they write, go giam, in begin make statement on that GTT report, and that particular thing they are not feel say it help or go anyway. If that GTT report was good, now the GTT report then for be used as a reference for move even the commission of inquiry will start. But you see what in the GTT reports come up with, a lot of things, and when me look at them, you see, one thing I will tell me brothers them, I don't care who school you don't go or which you don't sabi, if you don't ever work in a government, especially government of Sierra Leone before, when you come in, you're not a complete stranger. You get to come and meet with the people that we deal within the system or within government and learn government from them. And I tell you, say the politicians, I mean the civil servants, and this and all. Because one thing I will tell you now, when I go do survey on this, from the budgetary government they read every year. Let me say government read the budget, say, and they give Ministry of Health 100 billion in the budget, in the red budget a year.
Yeah.
The budget disbursed, maybe Ministry of Health, the one only year, they know they even receive up to 30 billion. Because sometimes government is constrained with finances. So if GTT reports they come and talk about budget red, you look at budget disbursed, you tie disbursed funds to projects and programs being run in various MDAs, then you not look at the audits on their institutions, because the audits only they look at budget disbursed. If you come 1% a blind eye to that, definitely you don't set the pace to make it go wrong. So for me, the GTT reports, I have a copy of it. I look at them. And that GTT reports, when you look at them, from the president in first speech and the opening of parliament, you go see that most of that thing in that GTT report, now in a filter inside that in first speech day. Let anybody take that president in first speech day online. Now let me get them from. They look the GTT report. You they find out, say, there's a connection, there's a correlation to them. But just as I say, the GTT reports, I think, say, the people that we do them, they might be educated people and all. But I think, say, that particular line of education, they are not say the education reach that particular side. Because from when they
carry
commission of inquiry,
go on, please.
From when they carry commission of inquiry, the GTT report is supposed to be a base for the commission of inquiry. But not in one instance, they don't ever make reference to the GTT report, which is an embarrassment. When the GTT report and finding lead to the establishment of the commission of inquiry. You understand what I say? The GTT report now lead to that. So if now lead to that, then they will make reference to them, which means the GTT report, well, I know I used the word that is not useful, but I will let people ever think about it. But I think say the one who do the GTT report, they do President Bio a lot of disservice. They not try for them. Because now that day for use for give the president, they understand waiting there are every sector they now from yonder they take a platform for see how they move the sector and everything go before. But it was not so. Now because of some of the reasons and they make some of it decide and set remote because we know say if then don't happen so all other things away then they push it will go for turn back in the other way. Before the commission of inquiry, I think say I meet with you one time, Prince, where I tell you say if this commission of inquiry they go on the rules of evidence, they're not going to find no minister guilty for Chingom I made that statement to you. I made that to a lot of people. Because when you didn't have government, you don't
Yes,
understand.
that was some 6-7 months ago when I was holidaying back home. That was
because you don't understand.
February.
Minister no they sign for fear self within the put in motuka. Even like when the minister had this so now na SLPP government. It is very difficult for me to charge them for government funds. They're not a sign for them. You get the accountant and the permanent secretary, and then they sign. And now they want they initiate.
Okay, Mr. Daramy, if you don't mind me for interjecting, pause, because yes, of course, that now my trajectory now you take so. That's exactly where I was going about the COI, Commission of Inquiry, but in a different respect, sir. Okay. And just for after what you say, because now the legality now you talk about, which was about the rules of evidence. So I believe say you're familiar with section 6, 1 and 2. We talk about the constitutional instruments, and you get, I believe, 64, 65, and 67. So we skip over 66. We say the proceeding of the commission shall be regulated by the practice and procedure enforced in the High Court, Mr. Daramy. So with such modification, adoption, and exception as are necessary to enable the commission to elicit all such information as may be necessary for performing the functions of the commission. Are you implying, are you inferring, are you insinuating that this commission fell short of what indeed is the law?
Well, when you look at the Commission of Inquiry, I think, say, to a greater extent, an officer don't run too bad. But the only thing about it is, now the idea where people them in the run and they feel say it is a means and measure for go embarrass people them or for take people them there.
Yeah, like even a revenge like.
Even me say when they talk to you in our Prince, a lot of people they make a lot of statements, people they make statements on radio and all about me. Just like when you talk about the fertilizer issue, when they talk about fertilizer, and they call me name and all. And to me, greatest surprise.
I was there, Mr. Daramy. I was in Freetown in February, beginning of March. And away from that, I was in the United States at some point as well. And I always walk around the circles. And these were things that I heard. The only solace that I drew from there is I met you in person, and we had, not in depth, but we did have some conversation. That's why I'm so very much interested in the conversation that we're having here tonight, and giving you all the space and chance to address all of these concerns, by people who either understand, or they are using this simply to smear you, to malign you.
Well, may I just touch on just 1 minute on that fertilizer issue? I'll then a Ministry of Agriculture, then get a fertilizer committee. Then put me in a fertilizer committee. I never attend the meetings. Me just wait for the final report. I never give no form of fertilizer. The only fertilizer I ever touch, 1 bag fertilizer. And that 1 bag fertilizer, I buy them for me flour then a hose. I still could remember I bought that fertilizer from a private dealer. We sell that fertilizer, give me at 180,000 leons, where I use for me flowers and a hose. That's all about it. I'm never involved in anything. One thing I'll let people understand, I'll work for government, I didn't have government and all. Ever since I come salon, Prince, waiting they get to in America. Now they are still get. What I mean, the Osewa bill what they America, cars they were get and all. I didn't say for me say before I say I build new, so I build and all. Some of we give we all to government, certain areas that we not go reach. We make sacrifices. Working for the government, I get 2 major accidents. One in 2013, where the motor somersault 5 times na Moyamba. I come up Kenema, work with farmers them.
And they thought you were dead. Yeah.
The people in VC die. I didn't at the front seat of the motor car. Government no buy Panadol for myself, for me. Now me take myself in the hospital, admit and all, go do every other thing and all. Government no buy Panadol. I mean, then at accident with various other people, Rose Konima, Stevens, SLBC, Salute Janjal of Times newspaper, couple of Abdul Samsi of SLBC. But guess what, Prince? I stood up, the ministry took care of them, of the journalists, them, paid medical and everything for them. Nothing for me. And in 2016, I had come out Cambia to a famous woman in Cambia, Fatou Shilawe, when I be a farmer. We go support him in cashew farm. Just when we left Cambia, we come just by Okroil, Motka lost control, Common Island, bang me Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser go beyond repairs. People themselves damage and Motka, including me, I get a knee problem. What I get for go do me knee. Government not give me a penny for medical or whatnot and all. You know, I mean, no one has spent for fix me knee back and all the rest of it. But these are sacrifices we made, not just for people, but for our country and all. And government salary was nothing. And I don't ever even reach there. If some people know the conditions and way some of women work under government and the sacrifices the way we make, definitely, Prince, I think say they will just ask whose type of human being them will be. But I'm a businessman, as I say. I have other ways to survive through business and all. I mean, at the kind of person I know already. The best thing I like, Prince, bread and butter is good for me. I eat a lot of bread and butter, you know. But with the Commission of Inquiry, you know, I think say anybody will take government money illegally, we're met for programs, we're for serve the people or serve the nation. Definitely, you have to be brought to book. And if you do take them, you get for pay. You get for bring and come back. I know they support anybody in that particular line. But waiting I know they support. Now for make you they go and make statements, say them people are not thief man, them people are not this, they were not anyampi, where you know investigate and find them guilty for nothing. How you go feel tomorrow if nothing like that comes out and all? You know, we have to be careful because we are all Sierra Leoneans and it's a very, very small family. You know, it's a very small family. So, I mean, I just advise we all as Sierra Leoneans, statements that we make against ourselves, do ya me are the big una. Let we not make such statements. We can talk things for provoke and one two other things, but not make statements and we go make people that look like say they're a demon. Same way, so you know, let them make them kind of things and they on you and them, even though you make them statements and they, which face you go get for going up from somebody and tomorrow. And Prince, I tell you something, somebody the way na be me party. This person I go stand as a witness against me. You remember when government changed and put me name on some case women there for some journalist women die. That journalist women die is Samura.
I was going. Mr. I was.
No, I just want clear. Please.
And then the team will be involved with the president, the ex-president, his daughter Danke. Now you talk about no so.
Yes, all those were stories, please. That person they died, the journalist. Now be me party.
Yeah, I know.
4 days to election.
I will give you chance. I will give you chance for let you address that. I've been just to try for pause you because I've done a lot of background check and look at the preeminence of the question and where I want to ask and what I want to deal with, waiting unnecessary in the public domain. But you undoubtedly are a very smart person because you seem for the jump into the space before I get there. So yes, this particular one, now one I've been also the touch on, and if I want to forget, because you don't bring account up, because I get a list here, are the deal with, then obviously pause me and the rest of it. But we are fastly running out of time, Mr. Daramy. So we go cut to that. I will definitely give you a chance for let you address that. But waiting is of concern to me now, you know, in terms of order, now in at the deal with so because time they run out. So obviously, you were a member and you know the means you words. Not so like other people the way they hide behind something else. You've declared yourself. And even if you've not been declared yourself, which was a smart thing to do, people already know you, where you belong, because at some point you defend, even like how you begin the program, where you make it clear for say, waiting you go on so now. There was a time, Mr. Daramy, where you were not even getting paid. You made sacrifices when you came from the United States. Okay? Tell them they didn't pay you some 800,000 or whatever will be represent God alone knows what in that particular thing they mean when you do the conversion. But these were sacrifices because, according to you, if I remember, because it's over an hour and 30 minutes anyway. Now, the sacrifices we want to make for a nation, and people don't tend to forget this. But whilst I say this, even though you became the political affairs now the ministry, and you have been liaison officer, you will make something like 800,000 millions. It sounds magnificent, but it's a negative for cut and short. And you became the Western Area Coordinator and Deputy Director, where all are major positions, and where people are looking from the outside, not understanding from the inside some of the sacrifices that you made. They would think by some measurements you are a rich man, and you are fairly young. But luckily, you made it clear as to how you not been businessman. You not only put you egg in one basket. You diversify your interest, and it seems like it pay off, because even though you are not in government today, what most people need to know is you are still there despite the challenges, and you are surviving. And I must add, here for the benefit of those who don't know, that Mr. Daramy was here a couple of weeks ago. I established contact with Mr. Daramy because I wanted to meet him. I'm interested. People sort of try to label me as being biased and what have you. But of course, you can go ahead and say that. But I'm telling you, what you need to do is, by virtue of the work that I'm doing, I'm going to where the news is. And if Mr. Daramy line of whatever you want to name it is where the news is, and I'm looking for it, I will go there. So Mr. Daramy was in England a few weeks ago. He left, I didn't even know, whilst this arrangement for this interview was being done. Only when I thought I could have seen him in person and asked him about 2 days ago when this interview was being arranged, Mr. Daramy told me, no, I'm back in Freetown. And that was a shock to me, because I wasn't expecting it so quick. I'm just saying this. So anyway, Mr. Daramy, your party that you belong to, your party that you defend all the time, they've been under massive pressure. I could go on naming it. It will be the 31st of May, when at the headquarters, or HQ as some people will classify it, your party headquarters came under sustained attack. That was sustained attack. And I've seen your release on that particular issue, because you don't shy away from talking. Now, the police cornered your people in or your party offices. That's just my sign that I've gone to the 2-hour mark, which I was marking. But no worries, we'll do it another 15 or 20 minutes. Mr. Daramy, I want you to talk about the events of the 31st of May, which effectively will go down as Red Friday, the 31st of May. And this is when your party headquarters came under sustained attack, in which citizens thought this was their very end. You are an insider, and you are at the very, very top of what I'm talking about. So you know things that I don't know, that most people don't know. What is your impression about May 31st, between the 30th and the 31st of May, when your headquarters, your head offices, the All People's Congress offices were or came under attack from the Sierra Leone police?
Well, that particular day, it'll be a very sad day. It'll be a day where a lot of pain and tears been there in the eyes and hearts of people. But now the day again where an incident like that, God mark say for happen. Now the day where them pull the 10 member of parliament them pass verdict on them. Now court where everybody knows say it is one unfair, because for member of parliament like John Satikago, in one case where it gets is that na constituency 111, they say he buys 7-Up soft drink, 1 7-Up for one next staff on the voting day. Go back and look at all the things them. Now I make them pull and 1 7-Up. With 7-Up soft drink not again a salon. But you look and I see 7-Up pint, you buy 1 bottle soft drink, 7-Up soft drink bottle for a staff, and next staff make them pull them. possibly Kemoko, Honorable Kemoko, na constituency 108. Them pull them just because of no reason, nothing other by incitation, say them pull them. You know, various other member of parliament and possibly like Honorable Siraji Rollins Kamara, they say how effect he attack the SLPP aspirant for member of parliament and all. We no witness no day to that effect day of that and all. But we all understand. You see, for me, them pull the APC member of parliament in the. We all feel them, but it was a sad day for democracy. I know it's in the SLPP they may want. It was just a shame, just like the analysis you had on you. For them to tell you, say, this is the ruling party. Then the ruling party na minority na parliament, not by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 12 members of parliament, but they were way far na parliament as a minority by about 20 members of parliament. So then they ring the bell.
Okay, I think, ladies and gentlemen, I'm exhausting. You know, yeah,
the majority in parliament. I just saying things and they may happen and all. And you know, me, I mean, I didn't a party office, I did it, right? I just left the party office less than 3 minutes where that whole ordeal they happen. And I come back where the whole thing they happen, Prince. At the time in Motuka where the whole thing they happen, I park front there where the whole thing they happen, but nobody no say, or the police or other people no say, na me. They no say at the inside of Motuka and all other things them. Tears come down the eyes, you know, for see then kind of thing they happen now we own country because despite all other things, teeth and tongue they jam, whatever it is they happen. But me na one person and not like violence. Then on the same part and not like advantage. But it happened that way. I saw God Mark say for happen and you know, people then suffer. Person the worst then go pull on the washiado side, the worst pull them out naked. Woman and they way they be in the party office and go meet them, then beat them, then pull them na door and go put them inside truck. Then come in the party office, beat people them. Then at the end of the day, the AIG Kylie comes say, well, they don't stop for fire, tear gas, the old man come on as the people in the command and they put them inside police motorcar, they carry them go and all. Then say the people they attack them, but nobody able to show, nobody stone any policeman or they send any team on them or whatnot and all. You know, it was
plus tire burning.
Yes, it was just sad. And the side where they say them burn the tire, Prince, you know.
Yeah.
Now, right in front of the house of the president in nephew in Junior Bill. We're right in front of him. Inside house, he get policeman, he get soldier man, they wait inside house and then day before in house and then he get security them. I'm guard. How come AP supposed to go to up front in house and go light tire and burn tire? You know, but all land we left landed to the court. That particular incident today, all the time I go say about them. Some of we not happy how it happened, but I'll not talk about them too much.
Yes, and thank you very much. And on the issue of tire burning, because when making issues, I can take me time for try for investigate because I get some background of investigation. It's like typical example, if tire they burn, the kind smoke way they pull. Most people not be understand say which kind smoke tire go pull if you burn tire. And we see the pictures around that, and nobody know before justify that. Thank you so much, Mr. Daramy. But I just to keep on short now because we run out of time and there are a few things that we need to talk about. I want we talk about sackings, okay? I've been doing a research. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just the first 80 to 100 days of this current government, over 3,000 people that most people want to say because there could be different reasons in which some of these people were being sacked, but 3,000 people were sacked inside the first 80 to 100 days by this government. Is there any credence to that story there, Mr. Daramy?
Well, if you want to get credence to that story, I'm one example right here. And BCB they work for government. I have an employment a contract or whatnot through the government and the funding agency. But immediately when the new government came, I was terminated. I don't get problem with that. But I will tell you one great thing will happen, Prince. The communications wing in agriculture, I help for creator. I mean, I help for creator. Equipment and the way I'm a personal equipment, what I buy for make me work, they go on like camera, tripods, computer, laptops, where we use for do editing and all lenting and then all. Guess what? Even though they ask me out of the job and they force me out and all other things, same. But I get colleagues and the way I'm on the work with. We say, hey, if you take the NTN now, and how we go do we work? Can you believe that the NTN and they will buy out of my own personal money? I tell them, say, I go learn to know until I get to my own. Up to this day while they talk to you, these colleagues are using them for do the agriculture work or the work and all other things up till now. You know, I understand when a new government comes, certain positions and the positions of appointments like ministers, ambassadors, parastatal head, not heads, parastatal head, definitely not through appointment of the president. So if the president don't go, then one they definitely get for gold. Not the one them way na by statutory appointments. The one they win are just presidential appointment. Definitely, the new government will come. Definitely for come with your own team of the one in the way you want. But looking at the second position, now I make the civil service very critical in how they do. The head of any institution is being appointed by the president. The second person of any institution come down, not to the president they appoint them. Now appointment letter, they get the signature of the permanent secretary where they supervise a particular ministry, I mean that particular agency or that ministry they're under. So then positions and they should go through advertisement and other things and come to procurement, come to finance person and all. But some of the things where we see happen was you see positions to even accountants and this, that, and they sign from office of the president. Maybe I might be wrong, maybe I not sabi civil service code correct. Una can go look then una can advise. You understand? Then for say people and the way they work, where you go say them for sack them now, so office system, junior staff, then say they go undermine. Like where women they work, what the agriculture. I know people when I SLPP people them. We they talk, we they joke, we make fun. When they want to go by SLPP rally, they go and all other things them. Videos and they I can show you where some of them with staff they use the government vehicle, let's agriculture bootcamp and campaign rally. But we never penalize them because of that. Everybody get the freedom of association. You know go say old man for can do with you. You know, maybe one reason why make me get the understanding, they grew up now also say me mama na Christian, na Catholic, me daddy na Muslim. They lived happily and all. Where this lady came go Moscow, this lady came go church. Everybody get for associate, but they live together happily as husband and wife. So same way, so I think same people can get the freedom for associates and they'll say they want for day. But then they don't mean see if you go and antagonize anybody, and then they go tell you, Prince, from people who they watch me, let them do the surveys and all from whose side they don't work. No time, no day, why don't antagonize or attack any person say, you know SLPP person, you know for the this office, or you for Komoya, or you know for this because you know SLPP person. I get relative they own SLPP person. I get them Boku, I get some they own ministers, I get schoolmates them. I have friends. Should I not be friends with them? That will not happen.
Absolutely. And this is not the difficulty because it's just one small nation in which we are all kind of related, whether not religious wise. Listen to the analogy where you give in terms of your background, your mama and your papa, one Catholic, one Muslim. So your allegiance, you know, you're sort of, you on yonder, you go mosque, and then at the same time you can go church. But with a fast run out of time, this is very interesting and you will have to come again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to Mr. Bakarr Daramy. He is a former pro, that's the public relations officer of the Ministry of Agriculture. That's over 2 years ago, whilst the APC was in power. He's articulated many things here this evening, some of which we may never have heard or we may never have benefited from, only because we've got him on this program then and now tonight. Away from there, he's talking about other issues as well, which is relevant to the security of the state, or whichever way you want to look at it, is none other than Mr. Bakarr Daramy. And today is the 23rd of September, 2019, and it's quite an interesting topic. Mr. Daramy, we're going to deal with these issues, you know, in terms of, we're going to deal with them in terms of seconds, if not minutes, but not very much. The sackings that we just talked about earlier on, in which you know or the workforce is like a family, but some are gone or some are still going. But there are fingers pointing towards the sackings of being to a particular group of people. And you just said that you yourself were or are a victim. The evidence does say that massive sackings are those of Northerners. I'm just trying to be real here. Either it is true or it is not, but this is what we are hearing, and those of party people. What would you say to this, Mr. Daramy? Because you are very critical to this particular issue that we are talking about.
Well, I'm pretty sure look at most of the sackings. However, we understand one thing. Every institution where everybody they any sound at the work, where elections stem come, people and they will go argue for SLPP, people and they go argue for APC, people and they go argue for NGC and all. So what happen at plenty institutions, from them privileged conversations and the people they get, immediately when elections done, you and me argue for APC, you might not even be an APC member or registered member or sabi anybody in the party. Those people were targeted just because of that. Then the one when they argue for SLPP, just as an ordinary arguer out there in the street, they don't go no position at SLPP or anything or whatnot, and this then begin to jump say, oh, winner SLPP people them. Then they use that kind of thing now for go. Now then the institutions and then the new heads then we don't come now the institutions and they go talk to them say them people and then the APC people them ask this person no more now they argue for APC. Just then kind of petty things and they actually go around in various other positions. Like for SAC ministers them, then they as president can all ministers for don't pack for go. For SAC ambassador them, all ambassador for don't pack. Where new presidents come, you get for no say, instead they get for come with them, people that we believe for putting in diplomatic missions. Then you get for happen. But other things them, like other positions and other things them, they're not for happen. Like for example, foreign affairs. Then they do postings every 2 years. They may just don't do postings just after elections. After elections and come in again and move people them from them postings and repost people them. And we go look at the codes and everything, now that kind of thing they for happen. We look at the civil service, the permanent secretaries. Then they do permanent secretary postings October and November every year. But we look what may happen, you see, I mean, things them we don't day in the code. And the one person way they hope say for the advice the executive on most of them things in the secretary to president. We now Dr. Julius Sandy. We don't know the service for the longest time. And we believe that in the guru and the civil service. And from the one in the ideas, the other things, we tiff the half understanding or put them together and all. But just as I say, I no further comment on that particular issue. But I wonder we understand say Salon na for we all in them. There's no one tribe or there's no one section or region of people we go able for make this country without the others, and no way, no day way Salon go able to try. Salon get more cool tribes and all. We just get to find a way we will be able for encourage each other and let we move forward. There's no way we able to marginalize any one tribe. No way. And me and one person I will not support that. No way. I no support for anybody marginalize me. Let us marginalize Timini, Limba, Loko, Madingo. No way, no day. Because when you look at me, I have a relationship from all across the country.
Okay, fair enough. Back to the COI, the Commissions of Inquiry. You didn't speak too bad, despite you being on the receiving end of the stick. But I just want to ask you quickly, and if you can deal with the issues there quickly on a more serious note, because we get like less than 15 minutes, and I get few more questions for you. So if we can deal with them very, very quickly, which is your opinion about the head of the Commission of Inquiry, and also recent issues surrounding the Commission of Inquiry, we've been for do with teachers, how teachers were paraded disgracefully around the streets of Freetown, even before the altar of justice, where na the Justice Ministry, na Siaka Stephen Street, these people were there. What are your honest take about how Francis Ben Kaifala deal with this particular issue, and waiting are you take on this head of the Anti-Corruption Commission?
I understand, say, Francis Ben Kalfala, he's desperate for making mark and for stop corruption, where we all support and
Yeah,
all other
yeah,
things and all.
yeah.
I think, say, he wants to get things done and everything, but on the other hand, certain things and you get to understand that you have certain lines you cannot cross. So on the line of the one day for say whether I do bad or whether I do good, until the president of the country be able to understand and evaluate that and make an apology to the nation and to the people. I think say we go left them at that.
No,
And
no,
one thing we
pause you. I want challenge you on that. You know whether it do good or it do bad. This Mr. Daramy, not a Bible story. The idea is the land is a land of laws. Whichever way people want to see them, it might not be working, but there is a land of laws.
Please make a come on this. The thing about the teachers,
Sure.
not to tell me. I left my office that day. I get to private office. I left my office to drive the go na tongue. I see how it's me on tree and I cut in tree. I just could not believe. Okay. But there is no way where you go subject people them or reduce them to that kind of level or disgrace them. I mean, no matter Absolutely. What it is, you know, even the one the way they kill people, the way they execute, then they bring them calm down that way they and all. But with me own eyes and then put them people in there, and even though I not sabi them, I not fumble to them, but right inside my heart, I feel for them. I understand Francis Belkalfa, I want to stop corruption, he want for making mark, he want push, but I think say that was too extreme and all other things. And you as the anti-corruption commissioner, I want to say, you know to the judge. Anything where you can send and go to court, I make them get anti-corruption court and all other things, and send and they let them try. If they find people then guilty, they say these are the laws of the land, let them pay it. But for just Sidom and all other things, I think say very, very difficult. And that was totally out of place.
All right. Totally out of order. Mr. Daramy, congratulations, which I should have done a long time ago in this program, but I choose specifically to do so at this time. And this has to do with your recent election victory. We have to, in retrospect, look at, like, you've been in the back pedal. You've had so many difficulties. You've had elections in places where you thought these were your strongholds, yet you lost. But in recent times, just days ago, it's still fresh on your mind, I believe, you celebrated an election victory in Bafodia. Mr. Daramy, will you take us through previous elections that you lost, in which people are now saying that every time you lose an election, you are complaining, and you are complaining and whining. But now you've won one, no one is hearing a complaint about Umfa Ali and the rest. Is it true that in previous elections, you've lost, not in a fair way, but to some degree, you've been cheated by the commission, by the procedures in terms of the elections. But now that you've won this, there is less argument. Will you please clarify, as the party is in a celebratory mood, elections, how do they see this? The
first election in Tongo, the first election that was held, we won the elections. We won the elections, and the Electoral Commissioner cancelled the election when they have no right in their power.
I'm going to have to challenge you, Mr. Daramy. I'm going to have to challenge you on that, because you're on international media and speaking to the entire world. When you say, because you sound emphatic, we won the elections, because there are parameters right there in terms of those kind of declaration. Now, we won, in inverted commas, the elections. Will you clarify? Will you elaborate, please? What do you mean by we won those elections in Tonko-Limba?
The first election was won by the All People's Congress Party in Tonko-Limba, and the National Electoral Commissioner cancelled the elections. After all the results came in, they cancelled the elections. They decided to have the election again. And when they had the elections again, after everything, getting all the RRF forms and everything, we went to the tally center from all the RRF forms not being created by the All People's Congress Party, but NEC. We put them together, we tallied them, we won. When we went to the tally center, they put all the results together by the Commission of the North, we won. I mean, election is about numbers. At the end of the day, the NEC commissioner came, Umfa Ali, said that they should cancel some stations. They canceled the stations and everything and suspended the calling of the result. And in the morning, they came and called a different number. If you call a different number, we do not have problem in that. Just show us the RRF forms that you approved. Let's bring ours, we compare, contrast, we add, subtract, then you give us the numbers. But because of that, ever since that, because of that kind of discrepancy, up to this day, there's no councillor there because the National Electoral Commissioner should gazette you as a councillor when you win before you could be a councillor. Up till now, months after that election, it has not been gazetted. So that tells you that the whole process had a problem. Another elections in 110, we won the elections.
I was just going there. It has not been gazetted. 110. So yes, take the stand, please.
110. Everything was done, humiliated our people, locked them up and everything. But one thing you can understand, the politics of nowadays, there are a lot of smart people. We create layers and every other thing. So even if you hold Mr. Daramy today and a couple of us, trust me, what's going to happen will happen. You know, and the election went on with all the intimidation and everything.
Is that an indirect message, Mr. Daramy, you trying to send to the government? Is it like a coded message? Whether you hold Mr. Daramy, who
you hold me, I'm just one voter. We share our ideas to our people and all other things. So what happened in 110, you know, everything was coordinated outside of 110. Everything was coordinated far and wide. And after everything, at the end of the day, they did the counting. After every other thing that happened, that did not happen, at the end of the day, the numbers showed itself. APC came victorious, and NEC, without having a mandate to cancel any elections, according to the National Elections Act, they cancelled a whole election. You can cancel a police station or whatnot, but after all that, the numbers show that we came victorious, we won. That was another instance. They did not cancel election. Coming to Koinadugu, Falaba, a lot of things happened there. Mind you, that is where my mother hails from, that particular chiefdom. So I know that area very, very well. So, my mother hails from Fule Saba Dembelea, Musaya.
So a
lot of things happened. A lot of things happened. I have a lot of relatives there. I have a lot of family members there. We know exactly what happened there. But from what happened there and everything that went wrong, immediately that day that they added those results, you see that, okay, just look at it. The election turnout in the total place was about 30 to 35% in all the polling stations. But in one particular area, you could see that you have 100% turnout, 110%, 120% turnout. What could that tell you? I am not making a statement. Go back and look at all right, and look at the voter register.
Mr. Daramy.
So what happened? What happened in these elections? Now, let me just wrap up. What happened in these elections? We knew that some of these games, they do play them. We were directed by the Lord, and once we were directed by the Lord, we went in with the Lord's divine spirit and we implemented just as the Lord teaches us, and we implemented, and that's what happened. I will not say what happened.
Okay, since you will not say what happened, let me push you on something else, but kind of related. And we've got only 4 minutes. And this 4 minutes, you're just going to use it to answer this final question, which is also related to what I believe is the wrapping up of this entire conversation. But just before I ask you the next one, I just want you to know that Mr. Kanu Aliyu has said that the Albert Academy is the best. And I will support Mr. Kanu because I'm a product of the Albert Academy. I'm an academician. So we will move on, and I will take the upper ground on this one. On a more serious note, Mr.
Can you come back? Can you come back?
Yeah.
I did not get the question.
Oh, okay. No, it wasn't a question. I was just saying one of the contributors in the chat room, based on what you said earlier regarding your alma mater, which is St. Edward's, Mr. Aliyu begged to differ, saying that the Albert Academy is the best. So I was just saying that aside with Mr. Aliyu, because I happen to be an academician. So yes, I agree that academy is the best. But we save that.
How many heads of state Albert Academy has produced? St. Edward's 3. Continue.
Well, it's not only the heads of
leave that.
Okay,
leave that. Let's go forward.
Yeah, I know, but if we should go by heads of states, they haven't made much of a difference. It's the people like you at the bottom, the driving force, you know, yeah, at the bottom, the institutions, the people who make the institutions. But thank you very much. But this is the thing, Mr. Daramy, on a serious note. You know about elections. You know how to win elections, and you're also a party to how to lose elections. Looking at this thing in its entirety, what has happened since after 2018 of March. Of course, the question is so diverse, is so huge. The current chairperson or chairman of your party, Dr. Ernest Bakarr, a man who I have no doubt you've got huge respect for, even though he promised that in 3 months' time, he was going to resign from active politics. 15 months on, Mr. Daramy, he is still the flag bearer of the party. And this is causing some ripples, and there are challenges coming from different ends. But what is critical to me that I want you to sum up, Mr. Daramy, is this, because I know you can touch on that. You're a very good speaker. I will give you that. Is in terms of what we are talking about, which is 2023, which is your party. Looking back, retrospecting, taking the name of the program that you are on then and now, put them together going into the future. Mr. Daramy, apart from the victory that you've just had, because there have been times when there was total despair, and because of the recent elections, as All People's Congress party people are now feeling chuffed. What are the prospects of all of this regarding this party, your party, the All People's Congress, in 2023?
Okay, thank you. The aspect about our chairman and leader, Dr. Ernest Bakarr, he's an APC. And the only way that you can change people from national positions and all other positions is through convention. And the party do held its convention every 3 years or so. So when we go to convention, what's going to happen will happen. But there are other people, other leaders around the world that are former presidents and are still members of their political party. Go to Nigeria, General Obasanjo. Go to England. When I was there, John Major filed a petition against the current PM, which is Boris Johnson, on the suspension of parliament. He's still with his party. Go to other places, Barack Obama, George Bush. Go to other places, even in Africa, other places and all. So if the current leader and chairman still is in the APC, definitely should be in the APC. And for now, nobody's asking him to leave because we believe in his leadership and all other things. And when he's ready, he will leave. He will go into convention. If he wants, he can run for his position back, or else he will say, I don't want it anymore. Somebody can run for the position back.
You are not in darkness. You are not in darkness. I mean, just remember where I stopped you, where I interjected. But you are not in darkness in Freetown where we are talking now, because as you're wrapping up, there are a lot of people who wants to see the face and the lips of this outspoken man. It was earlier on. Is something wrong? Can we have the face again? If it's not, that's fine. You can continue.
Oh, you're saying darkness?
Yes, sir. You are in complete darkness, and the people cannot see the voice, which is giving out, or shooting from the lip. This articulate voice. Where is it coming from? Where's the face?
Can they see me now?
No, Daramy, I can see you, but you look more like a shadow. And I'm not discriminating, you're a black person and you're in the dark.
Sorry, I have a power outage. That's why.
Okay,
Let me try to get
That's all right. That's all right, Mr. Daramy. Just go ahead and, just flow on. I'm sorry about that. I just thought something happened.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yeah, if you can come to your right a little bit, to your right. Can you shift your camera to the right a little bit, because you split your face right in the middle? Fine. Okay, right there. Just leave it right there, and then you just carry on right now. Thank you.
Okay. What was our topic again?
No, you were concluding. I said, like the
Yeah,
former
yeah,
president,
with our
said,
current leader and chairman.
and then the prospect for 2023 as well. Where
You know,
do
about
those
any political part, about any political parties, bringing yourself together, bringing people together. We are trying to reach out to them to bring them together. What we are trying to do, politics is about numbers, and we are trying to make sure that we will have a very, very strong case that we could build. You know, a lot of things has happened. A lot of people are expecting us to be going on radio and television, lambasting and all. I tell people that, no, this is not the time. This is the time of bringing ourselves together, bringing our party together and fixing all of the things that we have to fix. The time will come when we have to jump into political operations again. But for now, we have to put our house together. And definitely, 2023, mistakes did happen in 2018, and we will not. I'm repeating it again. We will not allow those mistakes to happen again in 2023, because as we do see, you do your survey, check the economy and various other things happening to the country now. Even though my brothers will say, oh, now our APC left the economy, now APC left the country. But I tell you, in governance is not easy. It is not a child's joke. And you cannot come into governance by making statements and promises that you cannot back. And I'll tell you, running government and pushing government, it is very, very difficult because the expectations of the people are so enormous, and the finances of the government are very, very limited. So you have to work towards that. But 2023 is going to be a very different year. It's going to be the year of victory for the All People's Congress Party, and I guess the Sierra Leone People's Party, they're ready for that, and they've started planning their exit strategy.
Mr. Daramy, on a more serious note, what you will have done, for the followers of the All People's Congress, you've provided a lifeline, to be honest, with your conclusion. And I'm sure they will be going to bed pretty much happy that, yes, a voice of reasoning has spoken and is giving us hope. Where there was despair, now there is hope, and they will be taking it from you. I just want to use the occasion to say thank you very much, Mr. Daramy, because I've taken a significant chunk of your time on a Monday evening.
And I'm still in my office.
You're still in your office. Yes. So this just proves, you're like a hardworking young man and the rest of it.
I have to survive.
But again, you have to. And that's the name of the game. It's human nature. You have to survive. That belongs to every one of us. What I was going to say to conclude this program, Mr. Daramy, is like, there is so much to talk about. But before saying the last word, I just wanted to say how much I deeply appreciate the time that you've given us and the rest of the world. There are thousands of people that are going to watch this tonight. And by virtue of what you've articulated, I can't say much, but the people are going to be the ones that are going to adjudicate on this particular issue. But I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Daramy, and thank you so much for coming. And this is not your last. You are going to come again. And are you going to tell the people, are you going to come again, Mr. Daramy?
Definitely, I'm going to come again, and thank you for all the listeners and viewers and for your time and your questions and everything. And I think this will be the first platform that I've given an interview for the past 18 months, as I've planned that it should take about 2.5 years before I do this. But because of the relationship and just one thing that I said, the family that I see in this particular group and all, definitely I am here, and I'll definitely continue to come in, so that it's not an interview, it's a discussion. So you can learn from me, I can learn from you, and we can see how we can put things together. Not about party politics, not about region, not about tribe, but how we can consider Sierra Leone and move Sierra Leone to the next level. That is my utmost concern. Thank you very much, James.
What a brilliant and wonderful end. Thank you so much, Mr. Daramy. And ladies and gentlemen, today has been the 23rd of September 2019. I've had a wonderful guest, Mr. Abu Bakarr Daramy, who is going to come again. And mind you, this is not only the platform of Then and Now. There are subsidiaries. There's a WhatsApp platform. There is a Twitter platform. There is a YouTube platform. So we are kind of connected. Mr. Daramy, I must let you go, sir. Thank you very much and good night, my brother. Be blessed. Good night. Yeah, thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Daramy, that was Mr. Daramy. And we want to say thank you to you all. Look at the numbers that have just tuned in. This is the problem in social media. When you look at the numbers, you want to continue. Unfortunately, we can't. So please retweet. Please share this video because it's packed with real news. The brother has articulated real issues. His data is provided. It's up to you to go and check and see exactly what he's talking about. I can't say any more. I can't say any better. But once again, good night for now. 2 days from now, we will have a Liberian academic. 3 days, another Liberian academic. And hopefully in the fourth or fifth day, we're going to be speaking to the Minister of Sports of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Zoga Wilson, P. Zoga Wilson. And remember what happened recently in terms of sports between the two countries. It wasn't very pleasant, but we still remain the two people. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.